How old are you, Paro?
12.
Morning, sports fans. What are we on? Day 3. About 1,000 k's in. Just packing up, ready to go for another. I think it's going to be about 450 k's today from Thargo. Lovely grassy campsite to Innaminka via Digtree and Nandra. Couple of places to go.
What
So
you call me?
Digtree. Yeah, going well. Got a bit of a oil problem on one of the bikes. I think we're gonna give Alice Springs a ring to buy us a seal, so when we're there for service day, Pado can change the seal. Sprocket seal I think is leaking, so we're gonna deal with the oil usage until then. Just don't ride behind him because you're getting covered. He's giving back to the ground. So let's get going for the day. Fuel, breakfast, and then we're off.
What I thought was going to be our first day of full dirt, it turned out to be, well, another day of bitumen. My research was not on point, and Adventure Way is now sealed all the way from Brizzy to Innaminka in South Australia. Not to worry though, as I reckon we'll be praying for a sealed bit of road later on in this trip. The landscape was getting redder as the kilometres ticked by, the roads were getting thinner, and the suicidal wildlife was getting thicker, and definitely lacking in brain cells. Our first stop of the day for fuel and refreshments was an iconic public house called the Nandra Hotel. It has a runway, fuel, waterhole and beer. What more do you really need? We topped up the main fuel tanks here to save us using the bladders to get all the way to Innaminka.
Well, I just stopped at the Nandra waterhole. You get some fuel and water at the pub there before we crack on for a bit more. Yeah, a bit of water in here. Seems we're in nearly the desert. How's the serenity? That was until 3 DRZs just rolled in. Some motion lotion at the Nandra pub. Now it's time to have a beer at the aforementioned public house. Bit of a lunchtime beer, Paro?
Yeah.
I know this guy's not going to say no. What do you reckon, Grant? Let's go for a beer. Let's have a look at this place.
A quick look around the place and it was time to get back on the steel horses and get another few hundred k's done, getting closer and closer to that South Australian border.
We are by the side of the road, somewhere in the middle of nowhere. We passed about 3 cars and 3 trucks in the last couple hundred k's. Having a bit of a rest and a few jelly beans. Crack on.
We were now crossing the path that Burke and Wills forged in 1860 on their ill-fated mission to reach the Gulf of Carpentaria from Melbourne. The story is a long and crazy one, but here is another short Aussie history lesson from a Welshman. The main party set up base camp here on the banks of the Cooper Creek, while Burke and Wills and 2 others went north and attempted to walk to the top of Australia. The base camp party were told to wait for 4 months for their return, and they did. With no signs of them, they waited another 5 weeks. When there was still no sign, they decided to leave and return to Melbourne. A crazy 8 hours later, Burke and Wills, along with John King, returned to Cooper Creek after walking to the top of Australia and back, to find that the base camp party had just left, with only some buried supplies remaining, with the word dig blazed onto a tree above the stores. They were too far gone and weak to carry on at this point, and eventually they died in separate locations close to the place that is now called Digtree. It remains an important historical area that's well worth a look, even if you're just there taking in the remoteness and harshness of the surrounding land. I've since read the book on the story and I encourage everyone to do the same. They bred them guys tough back in them days.
Oh well, that was the famous Burke and Wills Digtree site where everything went wrong for them boys.
After the quick history lesson, it was time for the final leg of the journey today into Innaminka, one of the most northern towns in South Australia. It's a busy thoroughfare for travellers going to and coming from the deserts of Central Australia. Everything you need is here: fuel, supplies, camping, and of course, the local boozer. Time to relax, go over the bikes, set up camp, and get some food. Another good day in the books today with no dramas. We are finally out of Queensland, well, for now anyway. That's day 3 done, so tune in for the next episode of the Desert Doctors, where we tackle the awesome Cordillo Downs Road and head into Birdsville.
So here we are in Innaminka, South Australia, after another 450k day roughly.
Well done, Grant. Cheers.
Well done.
Cheers boys.
Cheers. South Australia, Innaminka. Made it.
Safe and sound. That is the main thing. And not even any bike problems. Well, same situation I said earlier, but...
What about the chain guard?
The chain
Oh,
guard,
yeah.
we had
Oh,
a
so easy to forget about that, Burns. Selective, is it? Selective?
It may be getting posted home.
Yeah, Grant lost his chain guard, but...
Because it's Grant, it doesn't count.
I didn't actually lose it. It's right here.
I don't know why you got one fitted for it anyway. That's like an on-road thing. It's only a legal requirement, and my mate doesn't care. I'll have to delete that from the episode.
Why?
So far so good. Hopefully it continues.
All through the stages, both becoming seen into. Slowly we take on phosphorescence, vivid in the bond, phosphorescence. In the heavens, a billion signals move.
Oh, this guy, he's got no idea.
This is where the domino trick's going to happen.
Yeah, baby. Yoo-hoo! How good's that?